I love Miles Sanders. I love how he runs the football. I love his elusiveness, his ability to stretch the field, to run away from people, to make people miss, put them on his highlight reel. But I think Miles Sanders is that 130, 135 back carry a season, about 750 to 850 yards. I don't think he'll get 1,000 yards with the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, let me throw some running back numbers at you. Miles Sanders, and Barrett and I hit this a little bit yesterday, Gunner. So last year, 137 rushing attempts, 754 yards, over five and a half, right on the nose, yards per carry. Interestingly enough, did not have a rushing touchdown last year in 12 games. The 12 games is the key because that's been an issue for Miles, is being able to stay on the field. So I'll start with you, Derek, and then Barrett jump in. But what do you expect from Miles, who it's a big year for him if he wants to get paid and stay here?
Muted.
What?
Barrett finally got to say it. Muted. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we get you now.
I didn't do it.
What are you doing?
Xander did it. I didn't do it.
Playing with the machine, man. Leave it alone, bro. Computer.
I'm not doing anything.
It's all your fault, Derek.
You got peanut crumbs in it, man.
No. I haven't done anything. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So Miles played 12 games last year. And when I look at him, he played 12 games the year before. So now he has this history of being injured and missing significant time. I don't want to call him injury prone, but the last 2 years have really hurt him in terms of piling up numbers because of the fact he's only played 12 and 12 games over the last 2 years. Now, 2020, he played 12 games. He had 867 yards rushing, which tells me had he played 15, full 16, he might have had 1,000 yards rushing. This year, again, he falls in the category of if he's looking to have a colossal year, because this is a contract year, he's going to be hindered because of the wealth of talent they have in his offense. His number's not going to be called as much as he wants it to. If you give him more than 150 carries a season, he's going to be back on the IR. I'm sorry, he's a smaller back.
Wow.
And he takes a lot of punishment, and he has had an injury history. I love Miles Sanders. I love how he runs the football. I love his elusiveness, his ability to stretch the field, to run away from people, to make people miss, put them on his highlight reel. But I think Miles Sanders is that 130, 135 back carry a season, about 750 to 850 yards. I don't think he'll get 1,000 yards with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he'll have to go somewhere else to get that next year.
Interesting. How about you, Bear?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense what Derek just said.
Say it again. What?
He's muted again. After he just gave you a compliment. No. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, imagine him being behind that offensive line for those 4 games in a row that he missed when they really started running the rock effectively after he got hurt in the Raiders game.
Yep.
I mean, 220 yards, 230 yards against Detroit. 200 yards. Man, he would have at least had a buck in each one of those games. Mm-hmm. That offensive line was playing unbelievably well during that time period. So you're right, Derek. If they ran him like he's a workhorse, if he ran him like, did you do a bell cow back then? Yeah. You're right. He would run the risk of being hurt too much, man. And that's a bad thing. That's a bad label to have on you. But proof is in the pudding. You are what your stats say you are. You know what I'm saying? If you're injury prone, then you get injured, you can't handle the whole process of being that bell cow back in the system.
I also don't think, guys, that they're just going to run at the rate that they ran last year, whether
they
that's
Miles
or anybody else, right? I mean,
I
don't think that's not what their objective is. They had to do it, and fine. Hey, look, it worked, but I just don't think we're going to see, and barring Hurts looking really bad or God forbid injuries or whatever, they're not going to run it nearly as much as they did last year.
Well, they shouldn't have to. I think that that he's going to that Hurts is going to progress a lot more than we're giving him credit for going into this season. They ran the ball off of necessity. They don't want to be that type. They're not trying to run with the intent that a Ravens team are. They're not doing that. I think they ran because they just absolutely had to. They didn't have enough to throw on the outside, and nobody really stepped up and was that real number one receiver besides the Dallas game where they were trying to get Devontae Smith all the yardage. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Derek, and then we'll wrap it up.
I think Miles Sanders needs to be in an offense where he's a change of pace back. I don't think he's a feature back, a 3-down back. I don't see, he's not built like that.
Yep.
He's a change of pace back. And so he needs to go somewhere where you have a plow horse who can get you those tough yards between the tackles. And then all of a sudden when the plow horse wears them down, you send the thoroughbred out to exhaust them. That's the kind of back to me Miles Sanders is. Not a knock against him because you have a lot of change of pace backs in the National Football League and a lot of change of pace backs that have made a very lucrative career for themselves. And I just think, imagine if Miles Sanders gets hurt for four or five more games this year, his number's going to come down in terms of what he can command on the open market next year, or even negotiate with the Eagles if the Eagles decide they want to keep him. You're a good back, but there's always going to be that but next to his name.
Yeah.
I think if you want to keep him upright and breathing, don't let him get tote the rock, for the first 3 downs. Bring him in to offset what you're trying to do.
All right. Let's do this. Let's step aside. We got Mike Sealski coming up. He's on deck along with your comments. Obviously, smash the like button too, guys. We will take a quick time out. Barrett Brooks, D-Gun, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network.